Hey everyone, it's Amy and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, this is two, but firstly, I want to apologize that this video is coming to you a day late. I was feeling not so great yesterday and I just couldn't bring myself to film. Still not feeling like my best self today, but I have the world's largest cup of coffee to get me through. The underrated miracle of caffeine. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit of a chit chat, a little bit of an introspective look at some of my not so wonderful life choices. So as pretty much everyone in the world knows at this point, because I won't stop talking about it, I am doing a no-buy year for 2020. And the main driving force behind that is because I came to the realization that I have too much stuff. If you guys have been subscribed for a while and you saw any of my older decluttering videos from before I left my parents' house, then you know the sheer volume of junk that I had accumulated. You know, like wardrobes full of clothes, like cupboards full of cosmetics, hundreds of books, a whole closet full of shoes, just like an excessive amount of everything. And even right at the beginning of this year, I made this little video that was kind of a vlog, kind of a rant, kind of a nervous breakdown about coming to the realization of how much stuff I actually had. I don't think I realized quite how big this problem was until I took on this new challenge. I have so much stuff. And as much as I am deeply shocked and ashamed now that kind of the fog has been lifted and all of a sudden I am aware of how ridiculous it is for me to own that much stuff, I know that I'm not alone and I get messages from you guys every day. We have the Facebook group where we chat about no buy year stuff. And so I know I'm not the only one who has this problem of just having too much junk. I know there are others. And we all probably got to this point in different ways and have started accumulating so much stuff for different reasons. But today I thought it would be interesting and something a little bit different for me to just sit down and talk with you guys about the main reasons why I came to the point where I'm at, like why I have so much stuff. And maybe some of these things will resonate with you and you'll think, yeah, that applies to me too. Maybe it won't, but I'm determined to make a change and I'm a big believer that in order to do that, you have to reflect and understand how you got to the point that you're at in the first place. So that's what we're doing today. We're having a little bit of a gossip about why I spend all my money on rubbish that I don't need. So I've managed to work out that there are really three big reasons why I ended up with so much junk in my life, why I ended up with such a questionable relationship with shopping and accumulating things that I didn't need. And the first and perhaps biggest one was YouTube. I love YouTube, you love YouTube, we're all here on YouTube, and I think we can agree that for the most part, YouTube is a very positive, inspiring, and fun place to be. However, I do think that YouTube in particular, as part of like this whole influencer culture that has popped up over the last however many years, has really impacted on the way that we consume things and the rate at which we consume things. So let's just talk about makeup, for example. There was a time when I was 16, 17, 18, where every piece of makeup that I owned would fit inside my makeup bag with my makeup brushes, and that was like my full face would fit inside one bag because I had one of each product, and that was normal. That was the normal way that people purchased makeup. And then came the rise of the beauty guru on YouTube, and it pretty much changed everything because these YouTubers were having to go out and buy a bunch of different products to try out all these makeup looks, and they had to have all the latest things that were coming out so that they could make relevant and interesting content for their subscribers. And then the audience, i.e. me, would look at these beauty gurus and think, yeah, I need to go out and get that palette, I want that lipstick, I want to look like Jaclyn Hill, of course. And so all of a sudden, whereas I'd always just had one of each makeup product, I was now going out and buying a bunch of different things to experiment with my makeup and try and recreate these looks that I was seeing YouTubers do. But even more impactful than just going out and buying things because you saw your favorite YouTuber using them was seeing that these YouTubers were building up these enormous makeup collections. I mean, you must have seen them on YouTube. People have full makeup rooms. They have drawers and drawers worth of lipsticks and eyeshadows. I mean, it's crazy. It's like a makeup factory. And all of a sudden, almost overnight, it became a very normal thing to have a giant collection of makeup. It became this big thing that had been normalized by YouTubers, because at the end of the day, YouTubers are just normal people sitting in their rooms. So when you're looking at them and they have 40 lipsticks, you think, hey, it's normal for me to have 40 lipsticks too. And in no way am I throwing any shade at beauty YouTubers, because believe it or not, when this channel first started, it was a beauty channel. I mean, it was a beauty channel, because let's face it, I'm not gifted in the makeup artistry department. I don't know what I was thinking with trying to pursue that, but that's where I started out with this channel. It was a beauty channel. And I'm also not sitting here trying to be the police of like what is normal, because if having 40 lipsticks brings you joy and makes you happy, then I fully support you going out and buying 40 lipsticks and living your best life. If that's what you want to do, no shade, no judgment, if that's what makes you happy. But from my perspective, I kind of just went along for the ride on this whole wave of extreme consumerism around makeup, because firstly, I was making the beauty videos, and secondly, I was just like everyone else, seeing these women with all this makeup and thinking, cool, I kind of want that to be my life. And now I have all this makeup and I don't want it to be my life. The grass is always greener, I guess. And I've kind of focused in on makeup and cosmetics there, because that is a major problem for me in my life. I'm overrun with them. But the same also goes for clothing, with clothing hauls, which I've also done a lot of on my channel. But I think on YouTube, it's like one big advert almost. People are always showing you things they've bought, reviewing different products, and think about it, like how often when you're watching TV do you really sit down and watch the adverts? No, that's when you go up and go to the bathroom, make yourself a cup of tea, get a biscuit. Like, you're not listening to the adverts on TV. But when you sit down to watch some of these videos on YouTube, it is just one big advert. And so sitting down and watching a bunch of those YouTube videos probably will encourage you to buy more. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about those types of YouTube videos or YouTube or reviews or anything, because I love it. It's something I enjoy, but I'm just trying to explain how I got to where I am. I'm also feeling really, really hot, and I think I'm very sick, but we're gonna power through. But if I start to get a little bit delirious or weird, just know I'm not my best self right now, but I am trying. Okay, another big reason, which is going to be very specific to me and my unusual lifestyle, that I've ended up with so much stuff, is because I live between two different places. So as many of you know, if you subscribe to this channel, if you've seen my previous videos, I work in Bahrain right now, so I have an apartment here, but most of my stuff is at home in my parents' house, where I will go home and visit twice a year. But it has resulted in me buying a lot more stuff. It's very difficult to get some of my favorite products here in Bahrain, and that includes snack foods, makeup, skincare, some toiletries, even with things like clothes. Like, the brands are here, but you don't necessarily get the full range, and it's way more expensive than when I buy things at home in the UK. So what I learned to do very early on when I first moved abroad was, every time I went home, I would stock up and I'd buy way more than I usually would if I was just nipping down to Boots to replace my foundation. I was like stocking up for the next 4 to 6 months. So I was doing that every time I was going home, and then eventually the amount of products that I was bringing back was just like accumulating, and here we are. Now I have a bunch of stuff. If I was just living in the UK full time, would I feel the need to buy 3 foundations at once? No, but because I'm always traveling back and forth and trying to bring as much stuff as I can here to try and save myself a little bit of money and make sure I have everything that I need, I've created this out of control stockpile. And the last thing, and probably one of the biggest reasons why I ended up with so much stuff, is because that was kind of the way that I was brought up. No shade to my mom, because she's a wonderful person and excellent in all things, but she loves to shop. Growing up, and right the way up until probably I did my first KonMari declutter, it was completely normal and like ingrained into my routine that you'd have two separate wardrobes. You'd have a winter wardrobe and a summer wardrobe, and you'd have to like switch them around, and in the winter the summer clothes would go in the attic and vice versa, because I had so many clothes that they wouldn't all fit in the wardrobe. Because my mom loves to shop, she loves to buy everyone things, and so it was always just part of my life to have too much stuff to store, and so it never seemed weird. And it wasn't until I did that first KonMari declutter and all of a sudden all of my clothes could fit at the same time. It was like a whole new world. It was a life-changing moment, and I would never want to go back to having two separate wardrobes where one of them is in a vacuum packed bag in the attic again, because it's too stressful and nobody needs that much stuff. But I think the way that you're raised and the people around you who you're spending time with can obviously have a huge influence on what you consider to be normal, on the choices that you make, and on how much crap you buy. So those, I think, were the three main contributing factors to me having so much junk in my life. Like, the whole YouTube influencer culture definitely had an impact. My bizarre lifestyle of living in two places at once really doesn't make things easy. And just the way that I was brought up and feeling like it's completely normal to have like wardrobes bursting full of clothes. But now I've come to the point in my life where I want to change my relationship with stuff, and I've realized that all this junk doesn't make me happy. If anything, it makes me stressed to have stuff everywhere where I can't even store it, where I don't even know what I have, and I'm just not interested anymore. Sorry if this video was a little bit all over the place. Like I said, I really don't feel super great, and so I was probably rambling, maybe a little bit delirious, not sure, but I hope that the main point got across, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, then please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy no-buy videos, decluttering videos, all that jazz, I'll leave some playlists in the description box down below that I think that you would really enjoy. But until next time, I need to go and take a lie down. But I love you all so much, and I will see you soon. Bye. What is that noise? On that note, let's leave, okay?